Alright, over the past few years I've made quite a few videos, and a few of those being travel videos. And through making travel videos and watching a ton of them on YouTube, I've came across a few mistakes that often come up. I've also watched a lot of travel video tutorials where they tell you to do these things, even though, in my personal opinion, I don't think they're the best way to go. In today's video we're going to be going over a few travel cinematography mistakes that I'd personally avoid. Alright, so the first one is going to be every shot having some sort of camera movement. Now I get it, for a lot of travel videos you want them to be these fast-paced, fast-cut, exciting videos, but I can't entirely agree with doing this. For one, I think that tripod shots are really good for establishing a certain scene and the character within the scene. It can also break up faster-paced shots and really slow your video down to emphasize on a certain location or person. With a tripod, you're able to really carefully compose a shot, almost as if you were shooting a photo. I personally really like tripod shots because, in a lot of videos, I guess I kind of want to be the one of the main subjects in it, and when I don't have someone else to film me, then of course a tripod is the way to go. And then you can always add in some extra sort of motion in post, whether that be a fake handheld movement or a simple scale in or scale out. I think they can make for some really great shots. Alright, the next one is going to be shooting everything at 60 frames per second or some sort of higher frame rate. I feel like I've heard a lot of tutorials say this, to shoot everything at a higher frame rate, so that then you have the option of whether or not you want to slow it down in post or keep it at real time. But there are a couple problems with this. One of the problems with this is that if you're shooting at the 180-degree shutter rule, playing back a 60 frames per second clip in real time versus a 24 frames per second clip in real time will look completely different in terms of motion blur. In a 60 frames per second clip, the shot's going to look a little bit more choppy and jittery, I guess, because your shutter speed will be a bit faster. Whereas in a 24 frames per second clip, the motion blur will be a little bit more natural looking to what we would see through our eyes, since our shutter speed is a bit slower. I've definitely been loving the 24 frames per second look lately, but I'm definitely not saying that you have to shoot everything in 24 frames per second. What I would say is be intentional and plan out what shots you want in slow motion and then film that at 60 frames per second or at a higher frame rate, so that your shots can have a bit more of a natural motion blur throughout your whole video. Another mistake would be shooting everything at 60 frames per second and then slowing all of that down. I've seen this on a lot of things and around a lot of videos, and I used to make videos like this as well, where it'd just be like all slow motion because I thought that was what's cinematic, I guess. But really, I feel like it just leads to a pretty dull video that drags on quite a bit. Alright, for number 3, it's going to be slapping on some crazy transitions. What I'm talking about is of course, the drag and drop, zoom in transitions, zoom out transitions. I think they're pretty tacky in most cases, unless it's like some sort of like After Effects edit. For travel videos, if you're showing off a location or you're trying to tell somewhat of a story, I really think they just come off as you're trying to show off some sort of editing skill, when in reality you're just trying to cover up some not very good cinematography in the first place. These transitions, when they don't actually fit in the video, often just take away from the video and really just distract the viewer of being like, alright, like, we get it, you can put on this transition, but it's really like, who cares? And I'm no exception to this mistake, especially when I used to make like GoPro hockey videos. I loved putting on these transitions just to be like, look, I'm crazy at editing because I can drag and drop a transition on my video. But at this point, I think I've learned my lesson. Here's a quick bonus tip. If you're filming a travel video and it's not just a video of like your home city, like you're actually traveling to destination and then just making a video while you're on that vacation, make sure you actually put the camera down sometimes and take in what's going on. So maybe just plan out sometimes that you want to shoot, and then the rest of the time you can just relax, actually enjoy your vacation. Don't get too carried away with making a crazy video, because I think it's very easy to do that. So yeah, I realize that there's not much traveling going on, but I still think that a lot of these tips can apply to all kinds of videos, travel videos when we're able to travel, but also just, yeah, a lot of different types of videos. So yeah, if you found these tips helpful and enjoy videos on cinematography, filmmaking, and all of that, then be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.